All right, everybody, let's try this again.
Good start.
I'm going to let people in on a little bit of a inside baseball here. You said you were going to do it. Let me have it. I deserve it.
Well,
Go.
so good old Jimbo. So I know we usually come out with a recording every week or so. Granted, life happens. We get it. We try to do every week. Last Monday.
It was Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday. Me and Jimmy had a fantastic show. We had recorded asterisk. This is the Houston Astros asterisk next to it. Like we got we usually go an hour and 10 minutes. We got 54 minutes. We're into our final thoughts, and Dumbo's Alzheimer's kicked in over there. It was like, oh my God, my microphone has not been recording for the last hour.
My microphone was off.
Yeah. I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me. And at that point, it was literally like I dropped the mic, I dropped the headset. I was like, I'm going to fucking bed. I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. Screw yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why
it's
it's
not going to be nearly as good, but man. Yeah, you want to talk about my Alzheimer's kicking in, my old man brain. This is how I know I'm getting old. So I was in bed the other night, and I rolled over, and I hurt my neck.
That's
hurt my neck sleeping.
That's impressive. Hey, well, on a shout out to that, I'll give a shout out to one of our boys, Jason Delmar. Love that boy. I love that boy to death. But yeah, he tore his ACL laying in bed. I don't know how, but he did. He's torn his ACL laying in bed. He's torn his ACL getting out of the car, and tore his ACL getting off the couch. And that is not sarcasm, people. That is God to honest facts. Love you, Jason, but Jesus Christ, your ACL's made out of dry spaghetti.
Dry spaghetti. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan Ramsauer for smashing his toe into about 18 different pieces, taking a shower.
Well, he doesn't admit that he's getting in the shower, like trying to get in the shower with Abby. I'm guaranteed he was so excited to jump in the shower with Abby and smack his toe. Yeah, we have some friends with funny news. All right, so we got a lot to go over today.
Let's get into it.
2 weeks. First thing that kind of we talked about a lot last week, but you guys didn't hear it because Jeremy's a dumbass. But NFL Combine was last week.
Yes, it was, and it was good. It was a good combine.
It was good. There's a lot of interesting stuff. I said my big point that I brought out of it. Two main things. We'll get a little bit into the first one a little bit later, but I was very impressed with the big boys. Big boys showed out.
Yep. Yeah, big boys really showed out to like the athleticism in the large man positions is getting more and more impressive. This year it really showed.
I'd almost call it freaky. It's getting more and more that these men are this big and can move this fast. It's just absurd.
Yeah.
But my biggest point of the whole thing, and granted, I get it. Everybody's got reasons. You don't want to go out there and be stupid and hurt yourself. But the people that didn't perform, or not that before they didn't do drills. Like for instance, J.K. Dobbins, I think, the running back at Ohio State, I think he could have boosted his stock immensely. The running back class coming out of this, into this draft, we thought was going to be super, super deep. And then Travis Etienne stayed, Chuba Hubbard ended up staying in school, as well as a couple others. And so it didn't end up being as deep as class as we thought. We still got Jonathan Taylor, and Cam Akers out of Florida State and a couple other ones. But J.K. Dobbins is one of those, possibly number one back, at least easily top three. But his thing is his speed. He's lightning in a bottle kind of guy. Like, not that he can't run with power, because he can. He can break some tackles, but his thing is his playmaking.
This year in particular.
And I think if he would like gone out there and run the 40 or the cone drill, I think that could have helped him. I think it could have helped him a lot because Jonathan Taylor went out and he showed out.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is right now. I think he's the clear leader when it comes down to running backs in the NFL draft coming up. Yeah, he's probably going to be the number one running back taken.
Right, and I agree with that. But I think the main reason because of that is because, Jonathan Taylor went to the combine, dude showed out, ran a 4.39.
Yeah.
It did great in the bench press. Like he showed out, and
he's
J.K. Dobbins,
6'2", 200 some pounds.
Right,
he's huge.
So he went to the combine and he did what he's supposed to do. A couple other guys that we've talked about. I think the biggest surprise, Penn State's KJ Hamler. Like that dude, like the wide receiver class. The wide receiver class
do
is
anything.
So stupid deep.
Stacked.
It is stacked. And KJ Hamler, like I think in my mind, he's somewhere in that 5th and 6th wide receiver off the board kind of guy. Probably second rounder. Depending on how the draft falls, obviously. But I mean, everybody knows if you've watched the kid play, like he is a burner. He is an absolute freaking burner.
He's one cut. He's one cut and he's gone.
Yeah, like he's so fast. And he's a lot like, in my mind, he's a lot like Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown out of Oklahoma. And Hollywood went 18th. Like he was easy top 20 pick. I think if Hamler would have gone to the combine and ran the 40 and ran it in a sub 4.4, like in the 4.35 range, which I'm pretty sure he would have done. Yeah. Then 4.35 speed at wide receiver does not fall to the second round.
No. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's hard.
Well, okay,
that's hard because if you're
4.3
speed, if you're 4.3 speed and you're 5'7", 180 pounds, you're probably going to fall. But because there's so many wide receivers that are 6'4", 230 pounds who could run a 4.4.
Right.
So it's difficult to say.
Right.
You know?
Well, that's true. But yeah, I think if Hamler would have gone and ran like I think we all knew he was going to run, or that he's capable of running, I think it would have
probably could have
boosted
himself
his
a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, because you've got Ruggs, you've got Lamb, and you got Judy, and you could mix all three of those up in any order, and people would probably agree with it. Like those three are the top three. In that fourth, I've seen all sorts of people. I've seen Justin Jefferson. I've seen the kid out of Arizona State. Yeah. I've seen Chenault out of Colorado. I've seen a lot of guys. So it gets a little foggy.
Did the kid Amon-Ra St. Brown from USC? Did he go?
No.
Or is he still in school?
He's still in school.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, he's still in school. But I think if Hamler ran, it would have boosted him a lot. And a guy that I think could have, I hate saying this shit because, first off, before I say what I'm going to say, fuck you, Texas. You could suck a dick. But I will say, Colin Johnson, the wide receiver out of the University of Texas, they're thinking that kid can run somewhere like about a 4.45 40. Which is what people are thinking and what he's capable of doing, which I know we're just talking about 4.3, blah, blah, blah. But y'all have to understand, Colin Johnson is 6'6", 225.
Yeah. He could have been the Metcalf with better numbers this year.
If you're 6'6", 225
if you can do that.
And can run a 4.45 40, like, you're going to get drafted in the first 2 rounds. Like, that's absurd.
And we talked about Sam Ehlinger. Like, we think Sam Ehlinger is a decent quarterback. We think he's pretty good. He's a good runner. He is not an accurate passer, but he had good passing numbers, and it's because of those wide receivers at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's
what we think.
I absolutely hate Texas with freaking passion, as you all probably know. And if you don't, then you're idiots.
What are you doing here?
Right. But I mean, it's gonna be. Well, we're not gonna get too deep. I think Ellinger's gonna struggle next year because Texas had Duvernay and Colin Johnson, and those two dudes were studs. They were absolute studs, and he's losing both of those, and that's gonna hurt. Duvernay did very well at the combine as well. Not as big a guy, obviously, but I think he made himself a little bit of money. 5'11", 220, ran incredibly fast.
Yes, he did.
So I think they do well, but yeah, those guys didn't show. It's not that they didn't show; they didn't do anything at the combine, and I think that hurts them a lot.
Yeah, and that's something that we got into on the last show that you guys aren't going to hear, but we're going to bring it up again anyway. The difference between pro days and combine. For us, it's combine or nothing.
Yeah, it's combine or bust. What do you do at your pro day? I don't really care. Congratulations.
Don't care.
I really don't.
Don't care.
Yeah, it's not the thing. It's just, I mean, like for instance, is it Nike that gives a shoe deal to whoever runs the fastest 40?
I think so.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's the fastest 40 at the combine, not the fastest 40 at whoever's pro day, whoever goes to the combine.
At subsequent pro days.
Yeah, it's whoever runs the fastest at the combine.
They're not showing many pro days on the NFL Network, but the NFL Network is doing the combine every year.
Oh yeah, I mean, I sat there I'd get home, I start cooking dinner and I'd just turn on NFL Network and just watch the combine. I wouldn't sit there on the couch and watch every second of it, but I'd have it in the background, kind of all right, who's running, what's going on. Yeah, just pro days just don't mean as much anymore. They just don't. I don't know why.
It's so sterile, I mean, and you could argue that the combine is kind of sterile as well because it's so quiet. There's no fans in there. There's no cheering. There's barely any music playing when they do it. It's just kind of, it's very sterile. It's very professional, which you can like or dislike. It doesn't matter. They're going to change it. But pro days seem that much more sterile, just because they're in a position to make the players who are showing up for the pro days comfortable.
Right.
I say if you showed up for the combine at all, you can't do anything in a pro day, because the pro day is technically for guys who are didn't get invited to the combine. They want to get some eyes. They wanted to get some eyes on their abilities,
So one of my favorite things is not so much the guys that don't get invited to pro day, but I like it, and I'm sure combine, sorry. But I'm sure Ohio State's the same. But at OU's combine, if you're really good and you play at OCU, Oklahoma City University of Central Oklahoma, some of the smaller universities around the state of Oklahoma, and you're really good, then they invite you to OU's pro day, and you get to go show up.
Ohio State's the same way.
Yeah, I'm sure. I figured they would. And you get to go show out against some of the best talent in the country, which I think is so great for these small-time guys who didn't have a chance, and you'd have no clue about them. And I think that's really fun. I like that about.
I like that too.
I think that's a lot of fun. But yeah, the big boys though. I mean,
big boys showed out. If you want to consider him a big boy, because he is a big boy. Isaiah Simmons, I mean, he was already the number one linebacker going to be taken off the board easy, and he's an island. Well, there's nobody passing him when it comes down to defensive.
So I'll say
linemen, defensive linebackers. I mean,
well, I'll say this. First off, no, nobody's going to get drafted ahead of him.
No.
However, I did not realize, and I'm glad I had a little bit of time. He is an outside linebacker.
Yes, he is.
Which is a lot different than being an inside linebacker. Outside linebackers don't got to fill that gap.
No.
Which, Murray from OU does, and forgot the dude from Alabama, what his name is.
I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, these guys are bigger.
Not Moses. Moses got hurt last year. He was coming back.
Yeah, he's coming back. But yeah, these guys, don't get me wrong, Simmons is a freak of nature. He ran a sub 4.40, which is just
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could run the 20-yard dash about the same speed he could run the 40.
Yeah.
It's just stupid what that guy can do. So he did. I think, and for me, when I say the big boys, it's not just defensive linemen or linebackers. I mean, granted, they did well.
Yes. Yeah.
But Neville Gallimore out of Oklahoma, that guy ran a 4.78 40, and he weighs 320 pounds.
That's
defensive
really
tackle.
impressive. Yeah.
Like, what the huh? What?
And it's funny. I was getting ready to say, "Hey, that's faster than us," and he's probably about 100 pounds heavier than us. And I'm thinking to myself, "Well, yeah, because we're two 35-plus-year-old schlubs."
Right.
We're training regularly.
They're in the prime.
Probably everybody at that combine can run a faster 40-yard dash than us.
Right. Well, that's very true. Yeah. But he ran quick. What's his name? Werfs out of, I think, is Iowa, the tackle. He was massive.
What do you run, like a 4.6?
No. He was not that quick. He was like 4.8, but he's like 6'6", 315.
Yeah. Real big boys. Big boys.
Tristan Wirfs, that's his name.
And
I'm sorry, he's he's 6'5", 322. Sorry about that. But and he ran I think it was like a 4.85, something like that, for that big of a man, which is just.
Yep, that's
dumb.
ridiculous.
That's just
the kid Khalil Davis, the defensive lineman out of Nebraska. I think he's like 6'3", 308, and he ran like a 4.7 or something like that.
Yeah, he was in the 4.7 because this was Neville Gallimore and Davis were only the fourth and fifth player ever to be over 300 pounds and run a sub 4.8 40.
That's insane.
Yeah,
a 4.8 itself is good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's like a decently athletic quarterback.
Side note, I'm an idiot. It was not Alabama. The other linebacker I was thinking about, Patrick Queen, LSU.
Oh, right. Yep. Yeah, he's probably going to be the number 2. It's going to be between him and Murray for the number 2 linebacker. Right. It probably is, but yeah.
Yeah, Murray's a little bigger. But,
middle?
Yeah, they're both middle.
Okay.
Murray's bigger at 6'2", 245.
Led the entire Big 12 in tackles.
Yeah, Patrick Queen is a little smaller at 6'1", 230. But Queen was faster than Murray. So it's what do you want, size or speed? Either one of the guys.
You want somebody. You want a quarterback on the defensive side of the ball. Is what you want.
Right, and I think both those guys are going to do very well at the next level. They're going to both be very good.
I agree. When's the last time a really good linebacker came out of Oklahoma? Teddy Lehman?
Teddy Lehman was really... I'm trying to think. Was Curtis Lofton after Lehman? Curtis Lofton played for the Falcons and the Saints for I don't know. He's probably in the league for 10 years.
Lehman was not in the league for very long. He got drafted by the Lions.
I want to say it was. Yeah. I think it was Curtis Lofton.
Okay.
He wasn't superstar like some of these monsters, but he was incredibly good. Yeah, he was drafted in 2008.
Oh yeah, that's definitely after Teddy Lehman then.
Yeah, I mean he was 6 foot 245 out of Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
That's impressive.
Had 1,000 tackles, 8 sacks in his career.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
8 sacks. But when you're a middle linebacker, you're not rushing the quarterback.
Right. Let's see here. He ran the 100-meter dash
1,000?
in 10.7. Yeah, he's at 978 tackles, pretty much 1,000 tackles for his career.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he had a good seat. He had a good career, definitely great. And he's actually on the franchise radio show that I listen to, and he's really good to listen to. But I think Kenneth Murray is going to have a very good career. He's a do-it-all.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me of for us to go and compare like best defensive player out of Oklahoma and out of Ohio State.
Ever.
Then
I got you beat.
In the league.
Leroy Selman.
I got to think about it because there's so many out of Ohio State.
Yeah, well, we've had some good ones. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we had.
Yeah, no, yeah, you definitely have some good ones.
Tommy Harris,
especially in the '80s. Yeah, Tommy Harris was in the league a while.
Yeah, Tommy Harris was an animal. I mean, Brian Bosworth, but I mean, Leroy Selman was. I mean,
Yeah.
he's on the all-century team.
I'm trying to think. Not Jack Lambert. I was gonna say Jack Tatum, safety for the Raiders in the 70s.
Yeah, no, I know Jack.
We got the Bosa brothers now.
Which they
It's
could
still early
they could
on
get
that
there.
one.
Yeah, they might.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be up there at the end of it. But
Cameron Hayward, who's been in the league forever.
yeah, freaking. Let's see here, Leroy Selman. Here you go, Jim.
Yeah.
His pro highlights: 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 100th anniversary all-time team, 1980s all-decade team, defensive player of the year in '79, Outland Trophy winner, Lombardi Trophy winner, Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Honor.
That's good.
Had 1,000 tackles and 79 sacks, 30 forced fumbles as a defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's our best to come out. Like, don't get me wrong, we've had some, like I said, we've had some good boys with Tommy Harris, Roy Williams, Curtis Lofton.
Yeah.
Lofton was very good. Brian Bosworth. We've had some
I'd
good.
argue Bosworth wasn't that good in the NFL. He's okay. He's good.
He was pretty good.
His hype was very big because of his personality. But his play didn't quite match as high as his hype was. I'm not saying he's a bust. He's definitely not a bust.
Yeah, I was to say he wasn't a bust, but I mean he wasn't. I'll say that he wasn't as good as he was in college. That's a given.
Right.
But yeah, freaking OU. If you want to talk about best defensive player, give me Leroy Selman. Like for OU, he was an animal.
Mm-hmm.
God rest the man's soul, but he was incredibly good. But kind of talking about like going back to the combine. Thing I was minus the people that, and we talked about it a little less, minus people that didn't do drills.
Yeah.
Thing I was most unimpressed with, we talked about last time, was the defensive backs. And kind of like we talked.
Yes. Yeah.
There's not a, what do we call it? An island player this year, like a Revis Island or anything like that. Okuda out of Ohio State is the number one cornerback, as he should be. He's an incredibly talented man. He's gonna have a very good NFL career. Don't get me wrong, but he's not gonna be
if
Okuda
he goes
Island.
to the Lions.
Well, yeah. He's not going to be Okuda Island. Like, he's not going to shut down half his field.
I will say this. The defense that was being ran this year at Ohio State was different than it has been. In past, Ohio State was running a 2 safety high defense with Greg Schiano, 2 at the top.
Yeah.
And that gave the cornerbacks a little bit of leeway if they, missed.
Yeah, if you got burned.
Right. This year was only 1. Jordan Fuller was the only safety on the field this year other than, mop-up time.
That's usually how NFL runs.
Yes. And Jeffrey Okuda did as good as he did this year with barely any help over top.
Right.
And no pass interference calls.
Well, like I said, we talked about this a little time. Don't get me wrong, Jeff Okuda
and he's big. It was the speed. It was his speed that was a problem.
It was a little problem, and kind of like he is a very talented guy. Yeah. And over time, when he works on his technique, I'm sure he's going to get a lot better. And but I mean, going into the league next year, like if you line him up against Julio Jones, give you Julio Jones 10 times out of 10. Like, thanks, no thanks.
Well,
like goodbye.
Yeah, you said Michael Thomas last time, which is
Michael
same
Thomas,
thing.
Julio Jones.
You're hard pressed to You're hard pressed for any cornerback to win against those guys. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
but I understand. I understand what you're saying.
There
are
some guys like back in their prime, like Darrelle Revis in his prime, like he shut dudes
he was
down.
Yeah.
Richard Jefferson not Richard Jefferson. Sorry, wow. the
Sherman.
power forward for the Nets could Richard Sherman. Sorry, Richard Sherman could shut you down. And there are some guys in I forgot what the guy is out of. I think he was out of Florida State. He now plays for Jacksonville.
Ramsey.
Yeah, Ramsey. Like coming out,
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, coming out, you knew Jalen Ramsey was a shutdown. Like he was a put you on your number one dude, and he's going to shut your ass down. Okudah is very good, and not that he's not going to. He can. I think he's going to do well, but he's not a straight shut you down.
Yeah. You're saying there is no cornerback that is ready to play and be effective tomorrow.
No, I'm not saying effective because I think Okudah will be effective.
When I say effective, I mean a shutdown cornerback.
Yeah, there's not somebody like a plug and play, shut down half the field kind of guy. Jalen Ramsey was one. Like I think he was probably the last one we had that like coming out like everybody knew. Like, you put this dude on that side of the field and they won't throw that way because this kid's that good.
Yeah.
And there's not one. And the speed, most of the time there's usually at least a couple of cornerbacks that are straight burners. Their technique might not be fantastic, but they're fast. And we didn't really have that. So I think it's a little interesting. I do think the safeties this year, granted they're not as fast, but they're the bigger dudes, obviously. Mm-hmm. I think the safeties are good, especially your first two when you got McKinney out of Alabama, and then you also got Delpit out of LSU. I think those are two very good safeties that are going to do well at the next level. But minus like Okudah, Henderson out of Florida, the top two safeties I just talked about, I just really wasn't impressed with the defensive backs.
Yeah, because, I mean, they all have speed. And speed at the defensive back position it's not really eye-opening anymore. Because it's required. You have to have good speed at the defensive back position.
You have to run like a freaking sub 4.35 to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Like if you run a 4.4, whoopee shit. Every quarterback in the league does that. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was none of that like holy crap speed.
Yeah. I agree.
So I think that was kind of one of my biggest kind of like, interesting.
Yeah. I did have a player that stood out to me at the quarterback position, based off of what he did on the 40-yard dash, how well he did the 40-yard dash.
Yep.
It was Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has a cannon for an arm. And I watched some of his throwing drills, and he can throw the ball downfield really, really well.
Dude,
and
a cannon's an understatement. That dude's got a howitzer just freaking...
Right.
Yeah.
But for him to run a 4.6 at 6'6", 248 pounds...
It was very impressive.
It's very impressive.
It's very impressive. I think he definitely... though, obviously, Joe Burrow's going number one. And then Tua's not going to be too far behind him.
Yeah, everybody's saying probably Miami.
Yeah, I've heard that maybe
trades up.
I've heard the Lions might move up to get him.
Yeah, I think the Lions are done with Matt Stafford.
Yeah, so Joe Burrow and Tua are number one, and there's always been that kind of question at number 3. Is it gonna be Justin Herbert? Is it gonna be Jordan Love out of Utah State? And
I think it should be Justin Herbert. Like I watched some of Jordan Love, and dude is very athletic, and that's without a doubt. But watching him throw, he didn't throw very well. He needs to be in a system.
Right. Yeah. And
whereas you could put Justin Herbert in a situation where he's a pocket passer, which we know he can do, but he can also fit into a situation where he could be an athletic guy.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I think Jordan Love is a good athlete. I think he has potential at the next level. I think playing at Utah State and playing against the competition he did, that he's going to need some work on his fundamentals. Get used to the speed of the game.
You're going to have to learn how to deal with a lot of pressure.
Right. I think Justin Herbert is already there. But one of the things with like a player like Jordan Love, if you fall to the fourth quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's like where you're going to fall. And that's usually when you get the good situations. Like Lamar Jackson, he fell to Baltimore. Actually, Baltimore traded back into the third to get him. But I mean, people are talking about is Tom Brady can be staying in New England. Well, I think we don't know, but I'm convinced that he's going to stay in New England at least a year, going a year to year. But if you draft a 6'4", 230 Jordan Love to learn behind Tom Brady with Jordan or with Bill Belichick for a year or two,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's a absolutely fantastic situation for him. The Pittsburgh Steelers, you know, Big Ben has flirted with.
Oh, I would love for if the Steelers they don't have a first round pick, and Herbert's going to go in the first round.
Yeah.
And oh man, if he were able to drop down to the Steelers, that'd be amazing.
Right.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, learn behind Big Ben. You know, there's the Saints. They're going to have to draft a quarterback sooner or later. They're just going to have to. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. We'll get into that a little bit later when the draft gets closer. But Taysom Hill, they put a first round tender on him.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, they're like, if you want him, we're going to need a first round pick.
Yeah,
which
he's not that good.
Is interesting because he wasn't even drafted.
Right. So yeah, I think it like when you're good but not top tier talent. I mean, Burrow's going to go to the Bengals, and good luck. Yeah. It's the goddamn Bungles. Frickin' Tua's probably going to go to the Lions or Miami. Well, good luck, man. Like, they don't have much. Herbert can fall a little further. I have seen the talks of him maybe going to the Chargers.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Chargers getting their next quarterback. And you know the Chargers. Chargers have a good running game. They got a couple good backs on the or a couple outside wide receivers.
Do the Colts have a first round pick?
They do, and the Colts are another team that's looking for him. So I think there's
because when I think about it, when I think about other NFL quarterbacks that Justin Herbert reminds me of, Andrew Luck is one of them.
I'll say yes and no. Luck was a lot more athletic. He wasn't as big, but he was faster.
He ran a 4.67.
So he ran
1/100th faster.
All right, well, fair enough. I thought he was faster than that.
Yeah, I thought he was faster than that too, and I wanted to make sure before I said anything, because as far as I know, the thing is with Andrew Luck was his mind as well. He was very athletic,
right,
and had a really good arm, but he was really smart.
He was,
and I just don't know where. And his Wonderlic test was dang near like perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He had a ridiculously good Wonderlic test because he's a really smart, down to earth kid. And I don't know where Justin Herbert is on that one. I haven't heard anything about that.
I haven't heard much about the Wonderlic test. I heard that what's his nuts out of Washington State did very well.
Oh, Anthony Gordon?
Yes, I heard he did very well on it.
Well, yeah, when your head coach is Mike Leach.
Yeah, you learn pretty quick.
You're gonna have a good grasp of the game.
Right. So one thing, and before we kind of move on, one of the things I'm going to be interested to watch, and probably it's going to be more day 3, but it's I think watching Jalen Hurts and where he goes. It's going to be interesting. He's 6'1", 220, big guy.
Big boy, big guy.
Ran a 4.59.
Smooth, by the way.
Right.
It didn't look like he broke any faster than like a jog.
Right. Yeah.
His ability to get off and out is really impressive.
His explosiveness is impressive. So it's going to be very interested to see where he goes. Mm-hmm. Kind of like what we talked about last time. That again, you guys don't know because Jimmy's an idiot. But a lot, like I see, like if they could get a coach that would use Jalen Hurts like the Saints use Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
I could see him like into rounds, like shift the quarterback out, and all of a sudden Hurts is behind center. You're like, oh crap, you know.
And he's good enough to throw that's an issue.
Right, like you still have like if all of a sudden you just like did a shift and the quarterback goes to the slot and then Jalen Hurts is back there. Well, it's not all of a sudden like they're going to run like a sweep. Well, no, Jalen Hurts can still throw the ball. Granted, he's not NFL like every down throw the ball. but he's still good enough that you'd have to respect it. So I think if he gets in the right situation, I think that I think he could be pretty good. I think he could be very good.
Yeah, yeah. You got to get him. You got to get him in a situation where they can work with his strengths.
Right.
And I'm trying to think. I was trying to find it what Mike Vick's and combine stats were.
Michael Vick's?
Because Mike Vick's. What was his 40-yard dash?
I'm gonna have to hold on a second.
Yeah, I'm trying to look that up right now.
It was faster than that. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it was faster than that.
Michael Vick ran a 4.3340.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because I was gonna say, you get Hurts into a situation kind of like Mike Vick, where you bring him in, you draft him high, and you build the offense around his strengths, but Hurts wasn't as fast. But he is fast, and the dude is he's bigger than Mike Vick. He's 2 inches taller and 10 pounds heavier. So
yeah, he was an anomaly.
Yeah, it's just his downfield throwing isn't great. He can hit it. He can hit a slant. He's good at that.
Yeah. So we got the draft coming. So this is all building up to a draft. I think end of April.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one. It's in Vegas.
Yeah, but and the new Raiders being there, so they're gonna be showing out.
They're gonna be showing out.
They're gonna have a black hole there. They're gonna have the black hole.
Oh yeah.
Which would be a lot of fun to watch. And I mean, I think this year, I mean, there's a lot of different things that could happen. Like where the quarterback's gonna go, the wide receivers where they're gonna fall, the running backs and where these guys are going to go. Because, like I talked about, there's no Saquon Barkley or Adrian Peterson in this. But there are a lot of backs that are good. There's some good guys.
Yes. I think like Jonathan Taylor, for how fast he ran at his size, was very impressive. My thing is, there haven't been many Wisconsin running backs that last really well, that do really well or last really long in the pros, because they are the offense when they're at college.
Well, to me,
Jonathan Taylor has 2,000 yards for 2 seasons, and I believe has led the entire country in touches as well, both years, at the running back position.
Right.
And Melvin Gordon, I think, is the only one who's had like real sort of success.
Yeah, he's had success, but again, he's split carries with Eckler.
He split carries with Eckler, and then he also we talked about that before too, and you guys would have heard it if my microphone was on, but he also had 1 year where he split carries with I think it was with Monty Ball and James White, and then his one last year when he was a Heisman finalist in 2014.
Yeah.
That was the first year that he had like his big gigantic numbers. But then you got guys, Ron Dane. I don't think he ever ran for over 1,000 yards, and he was a Heisman winner at Wisconsin.
Yeah, it just, to me, just top, first round running backs to me just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
there's some. Well, when there's one there that you cannot pass on, you got guys like Zeke, Saquon, those guys that you just cannot pass. But you're saying there's really nobody in this field.
Well, even then, like, no offense to Zeke and Saquon, I say you pass on them. I do. I really, really do. I mean, like, who's the most beast running back right now in the NFL? Derrick Henry out of Tennessee?
For this year, yeah.
Yeah, he was the 45th overall pick in the second round. Nick Chubb, who was the number 2 running back, yards-wise, was second round, 35th pick. Granted, like then you have Chris McCaffrey and Zeke at 3 and 4, but then you have Chris Carson, who was drafted in the 7th round. Joe Mixon, Marlon Mack, Aaron Jones.
Joe Mixon could have been higher.
Yeah, he could have. But like, just kind of like my point is like David Montgomery. Like you look at these guys like Miles Sanders, like probably out of the top 20 running backs, yards wise, I'd probably say 12 to 13 of them were 2nd round or later. Probably actually more of that because Lamar Jackson's a quarterback. He actually finished 6th, which we haven't even gotten to. That's fucking absurd.
Yeah.
You want to talk about absurd? But I mean, like looking at 1st round backs, you have McCaffrey, Elliott, Fournette, Josh Jacobs. Was Mark Ingram 1st round? Saquon Barkley was.
I don't think Ingram was.
Yeah, he was a 28th pick. He was at the end.
Yeah. Okay.
So in the top 20, which again, let's go one more thing. That's crazy. Adrian Peterson was still top 20 in yards at fucking 36 years old.
He's awesome.
But so you had
awesome.
You have Peterson, Barkley, Jacobs, Fournette, Zeke, and McCaffrey. So 6 of the top 20 guys on their yards was 1st round. Everybody else came later. You can wait on a running back. They come dime a dozen, and there's some damn good ones out there.
Yeah. Well, what was it? It was Chris Carson was drafted a couple years ago, and that was when they still had Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he was out of Oklahoma State, and I remember watching him, and like I thought, like this kid's good.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like you can wait for a good back later on, especially if you're in a position where you don't need one.
Right. I mean,
one
of the best in my mind thoughts is Mostert.
Yeah.
Wasn't
drafted at all.
Well, yeah, he wasn't even drafted. Kid finished with almost 800 yards and 5 yards, like almost 6 yards a carry. Like, don't get me wrong, like Zeke is good, and so is Chris McCaffrey and Fournette. I'm not saying these kids are bad. They're not. But I mean, to me, a running back is never a need for the 1st round. You get a good enough offensive line, you can make any running back good.
Yeah. I don't want to disagree because it depends on for me, it depends on who's in there. Because there have been so many people who were drafted, running backs drafted in the 1st round who still ended up being great.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're like, okay, first off, if you give me Barry Sanders, then sure.
What?
So if you give me Barry Sanders in the 1st round, then yeah, sure, I'm going to take him.
Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's certain guys that are going to be available in that 1st round that you just can't pass up. And I will contend. I don't want to say contend. I will give you that drafting a running back in the 1st round is a boom or bust pick for sure.
Yeah, I mean, looking at if you look at the 2016 draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, I mean, Zeke was drafted 4th overall.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, Zeke's good.
Mm-hmm.
If the Cowboys would have not gone with Zeke, right, at the 4th pick, you could have got Jalen Ramsey, who we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Stanley, the tackle. DeForest Buckner. There's a lot of guys that you could have got. And then, with your 4th pick or your 2nd pick in the next round, Derrick Henry's sitting there. Because he didn't go to the end of that round.
Right.
So, it's like, well... And
I understand.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like bad. I think,
listen,
to me, running backs are never a need.
Yeah. You're a multiple-time fantasy football team winner, so I get it. You're a professional.
I'm good at this. I know what I'm talking about. Motherfucker, some team needs to hire me. All right.
I've won the Madden championship on my, league that I created on my own.
That's right. All right. Well, all right. So we've beat this into a dead horse. We're going to talk about it a little bit more.
I think we're ready to move on.
But we got a couple other things. Main thing last night, I did not get to watch them. However, we did have UFC last night.
Yes, 248.
Yeah, with Stylebender, Yoel Romero, which
I was very excited for that fight.
I won't say I was excited. It was like
I was excited. I'm excited for any Israel Adesanya fight now because
he's fun
of his attitude. Not only is he entertaining, but he's willing to take big fights. He's not a guy who's like, I don't want that fight because I'm not going to make as much money. Right?
Yeah,
I don't want to take that fight because I might lose it. And Yoel Romero is a very dangerous opponent, and you can't argue that.
No,
I mean they all are, but in terms of
my thing is don't get me wrong. For my own credit, I told you about Adesanya years ago.
Mm-hmm. You did. You did.
I saw
and
that
you
kid.
were right.
Yeah, and that's one of the few times I'm right. But yeah, I'll say that kid is amazing. And he's still fantastic to watch, and he's a lot of fun. However, to me, UFC, and I'll watch them and I'll pay attention and yada yada yada, whoopee shit. But to me, every UFC is shit right now until April. Until 249, and you give me Khabib and Tony.
That one's been needing to happen for like 3 years now.
Yeah, we've all been waiting it for years and years and years. It's finally happening. Khabib kicked Tony's interim belt off the fucking stage, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's nothing against Yoel and Adesanya. I mean, they're great fighters. McGregor Cowboy, I mean, I bought that one. It was a fun one. Jones Reyes, I bought that, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. But it's all pale in comparison to me until we get 249 out of the way with Tony and Khabib. I think those are two of the biggest names that we have. Khabib. The thing about why I'm so excited about this one is because Tony is he's a fantastic fighter. He's so good, and he's a very well-rounded fighter. He can do it all. Khabib, to me, I've watched a lot of his fights. I haven't seen a chink in his armor yet. Nobody's exploited a weakness, and it's like, oh well, so-and-so had him, and Khabib escaped with a victory. Right. Yeah, no. Khabib goes in and fucking dominates.
Yeah. The only time I didn't see him like completely dominant and just put an end to the fight was when he fought Iaquinta a couple years ago.
Well, yeah, but that was just
But he wasn't.
moving.
He was just messing around.
Yeah, like you knew
he wasn't. He was just trying to, because that was a last minute scratch.
Well, yeah,
wasn't that when him and Ferguson were supposed to fight, but Ferguson got hurt?
Yeah, and Iaquinta stepped in, but it was a thing that like it went the distance, but
Khabib wasn't taking him too seriously.
Well, at no, like I remember, I think I watched that with Reddick actually, but at no point in that fight was there any question who was going to win? Like it was,
right? Yeah,
like. Khabib was in command the entire fight.
Yeah. And if you go back and you watch it, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are not going to because it was a pretty boring fight.
It was.
At the end, when they're getting ready to announce the winner, Iaquinta, and it made me like him, they're getting ready to call who won the fight by unanimous decision. And Iaquinta put his arms up like, maybe it's me? And it's like, no way. And then it said Khabib, and he's like, just kidding. I knew I was gonna lose.
Yeah. So, but
it was good.
But I think like Connor is a world class striker. We all know that.
His
ground game's not terrible, but it's not great.
No. No, and Khabib's ground game is
elite.
it's the best.
Yeah.
At that weight level.
At that weight class,
it's the best.
it's the best. Tony can do it both.
Yeah.
He can do it both.
What's Tony's wrestling like? Is he a wrestler or is he a grappler? That I honestly don't know.
I'd have to look into that a little bit more.
I know he can strike. He's a very good striker.
He's an incredibly good striker. He's good on the ground.
Yeah.
He's not Khabib on the ground, but he's good on the ground.
Yeah, because there's a difference. Yeah, obviously, there's a difference between grappler and wrestler. Because a wrestler, his is pressure.
Yeah,
like he's getting you down and he's pressuring you to the point to where it's hard for you to breathe.
Yeah, he's gonna put his weight on you. He's gonna lean on you.
Yeah, and a grappler is gonna take you down and start looking for opportunities to submit you.
Well, and that's like for instance, like Khabib. Khabib is a wrestler. He gets on top of you. He puts his weight on you. He makes you hold up his weight. And he just wears you down. It was a couple
ground
strikes.
and pound. It's classic. It's classic ground and pound.
Yeah,
it's Mark Coleman ground and pound. Yeah, it's great.
And Khabib is arguably the best in the world at it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. So nothing against Adesanya and Romero. I didn't buy the fight because I was just kind of waiting for. Waiting for the one next month, which I definitely will be buying that one.
Yeah, I will tell you, you not watching those fights, you missed one of the greatest fights. Not women fights, one of the greatest fights.
I heard
of
that.
all time.
Zhang Yuzhek, I heard was.
Yeah. I watched it and I knew it was going to be a good fight because I know they're both great fighters, they're both great strikers, but I didn't realize my thought on it I came to earlier was when some people say that was one of the greatest fights in the history of MMA. It feels like it's hyperbolic. It feels like it's over the top because people's emotions are so high. But literally, that was one of the best. To say it about that fight does not feel like it doesn't feel like they're pandering because the next day was because today's International Women's Day. Ladies, we love you. Coming at you. But anyway, it didn't feel like we were pandering to that because it was such a good fight. It was incredible. They had over 600 fights going into the 600 strikes going into the third round or something like that.
Yeah.
It was a ridiculous amount of strikes thrown. And neither of them were backing down. It was such a good fight. It reminds me of, they announced it on Saturday. The Gustafsson-Jones fight is going into the Hall of Fame.
I saw that. Well, one. Gustafsson.
The first fight.
The first one.
The one that went to distance, yeah.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah, I saw that.
And then it reminded me of, it wasn't as bloody, but, I mean, if you saw Joanna's head after the fight was over, you can say, dang, just like, it reminded me of Stephan Bonner, Forrest Griffin from Ultimate Fighter in 2005.
Yeah.
Just two fighters just throwing everything they got into every single punch. Oh, it was so good. And neither of them wanted to back down. Whew, man, such a good fight.
Right. So
shout out to Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Zhang. I don't know how to say her.
So just kind of before we move on to the next subject of fighting, we'll say next month, people, if you have a chance, Khabib, Ferguson, fantastic. Yep. Usman has agreed that if they gave him a contract to fight Masvidal, he would sign it. So it looks like we're going to get...
They haven't done that yet?
Nope. So it looks like we're going to get Usman,
UFC, what are we doing?
Masvidal. It looks like we're going to get that, which is going to be a fantastic fight.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun going forward. Staying kind of in the fighting realm. Fury Wilder 3 is coming.
Yep.
Wilder...
Tyson Fury... Yeah, Fury had a rematch clause.
Yes.
And he's taking it.
Wilder did. Wilder had.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Wilder had a rematch clause.
He had the rematch clause, and he got it. So I think we're going to get that in the summer. Not as excited as this one, but
I think Wilder's going to come to the ring in a towel. I don't think he's gonna come into that stuff. and I think, did we talk about that the last time?
Yeah.
Where he's using the excuse of his 40-pound ring gear.
No, you had a 280-pound man lean on you.
Like, yeah, that was why your legs got tired.
Yeah, your legs got tired. Like, this is not like it's. Wilder was blaming it on his costume. I was like, no, there's a reason Fury showed up heavier than he's ever been at 280.
Yeah, he even said so after. He's like, that's why I was heavier.
Right.
That's why.
I mean, that's just smart fighting. He warmed down, where the dude got tired, and then he started laying bombs. And it was over. It was bad. Yep. And I don't think the next fight's going to go any different. I think he might do the same thing.
Yep, I agree. I think Deontay. That's the thing is Deontay Wilder's got to know that Tyson Fury's going to do that again. Right? Oh yeah. So is he going to have the wherewithal to change his style? Is he going to be able to change his style effective enough to be able to deal with it? Because you can't put on more weight. You put on more weight, you're just going to add. It's just going to wreck your cardio. Yeah, no.
Fury's got to keep. He's got to keep the distance. I'm sorry. Wilder's got to keep the distance. He's got to use his jab. Keep Fury away.
You got to use his jab. Got to use footwork, which he really doesn't have.
No,
he doesn't have the ability.
Stupid power.
He's a brawler. Yeah, and I don't think he can do it. I was wrong about that fight. We were both wrong about that. Oh, yeah. We both thought Wilder was going to win because of what happened the last time. But I think Fury's figured that one out. I think because no other fighter was able to do that to Deontay Wilder like Tyson Fury can because of his size. Being 6'9" at 280 pounds and still able to move like that.
Well, yeah. Well, he's able to move like that, and he was smart. Like everybody when they fight Wilder are so terrified of getting caught, which is understandable because Wilder's power is out of this world. Like this dude could probably punch a pillar in my house and take down my entire house.
Yeah. His right hand, if you want to understand how strong his punch is, check out the fight. I got to look up the guy he fought before he fought Tyson Fury in the rematch. He knocks him out with a straight right. And it looks like his soul escapes out of the back of his head.
Yeah. I mean,
it's insane.
I was watching the pre-fight stuff, and his bagman said that Wilder literally punched his arm out of socket, hit his hand so hard that his arm came out of socket on 3 or 4 different occasions. His power is so stupid. But so everybody, because of that power, they're scared to get close to him, thinking they're going to get caught.
Yeah. Tyson Fury is not.
Well, it's not that he was he, instead of getting scared to get caught, took the fight to him and got too close where Wilder couldn't get his entire body into the punch. And if you could see me on camera, I'm doing the punch motion right now. I've got my hands up
Punch and Judy punches.
Oh, I'm totally doing punches. That punch. But yeah, no, he got in close where Wilder couldn't put the whole force behind it. And because of that, it was it's one of those things, and I forgot which boxing, it might have been Max Kellerman that I was listening to talking that and Tyson was more of the anomaly because he was smaller and he had those short uppercuts. But these big fighters, they're a hurricane, and when you're on the outskirts of the hurricane, with those winds, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught. But if you could get inside that eye and get through the winds and get into the eye of the hurricane, you could do some damage.
Yeah,
and that's what Fury did. He got in the eye of the hurricane of Wilder and broke out through those gusts. And he did well, and I'll pop it. So yeah, I'll watch the fight, but I'm not this last one now was a holy shit. Here we go.
Oh yeah,
I was so
that
pumped.
Was a big one.
I was so.
That was
pumped.
A big one. And it sucks because I know why Wilder's doing it because he wants his belt back, and he's able to make more money when he's the champ. Well, but the truth of the matter is, what's best for boxing would be Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua.
True, very true.
But that won't happen. Because and that's the thing is, let's say Wilder is able to catch Tyson Fury and knocks him out. Now,
Which
now
is possible. That is very possible.
It's always possible.
Yeah, that is very
and
possible.
To me, yeah. And Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight, it's just that doesn't. I mean, it's exciting, but it's not as exciting as the last Wilder Fury fight.
No,
Wilder
it's
Fury
not.
2.
It's me hard pressed to be like the last one. Don't get me wrong. Like I've watched some boxing matches, with Triple G and Mayweather,
Yeah.
other fighters, and there's been some really good fights I've been excited for. I've been this excited for a heavyweight title
It's been a long time.
in a long time. There's been
I
some
think-
good ones. Don't get me wrong. Like people
Yeah.
out there that are fighting fans. I'm not saying there hasn't been good fights. There have been some very good heavyweight fights, but not one like this. That like
Not one
weeks
that
before.
caught-
Yeah, weeks before it, I was like, "Holy crap!
Yeah,
here
yeah,
we
not-
go."
I remember when it was like when Mike Tyson got out of jail and he had his first bout out of jail.
Oh, Tyson.
That was on national television. That wasn't like a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That was everywhere for free. And then it was just no, that wasn't his first fight. His first fight was Peter McNeely. The Hurricane of Horror. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. But I want to say the last big heavyweight fight that caught the actual interest of the nation, the entire nation, was it Tyson Lennox Lewis? Like 12 years ago?
Was Tyson Lewis or was Tyson Holyfield?
That was in the 90s.
Was Holyfield in the 90s?
Holyfield and Mike Tyson 1 and 2 were both in the 90s.
Okay, the ear bite was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one for sure. Yeah, though that one was building up for like 10 years prior, but
True. So yeah, we got that coming in. So God, we're gonna have a fun couple months coming up.
mm-hmm.
We got baseball starting right now. Moving on, kind
yeah,
of.
spring training is spring training.
Yeah, spring training, but kind of fun. Just kind of get the guys out there hitting the ball.
Yankees injury bug is still there.
It is most.
It won't matter. Like we talked about it. You said the AL East is a buzzsaw. It's not. It's a buzzsaw because the Yankees are in it.
It's not as bad this year, but I mean,
I think the Rays got a shot to finish second. They got a good young core of players.
I mean, they did last year. They won 96 games last year.
Yeah,
pretty good team, ball club. In Boston, we'll see.
I don't think Boston's going to be very good at all.
Last time
They
I
weren't
thought
very
they weren't
good
going to be
last
very
year.
good. They were very good.
Well, that's because they cheated.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Allegedly. That's
allegedly.
still being investigated.
Yeah. But yeah, the Yanks.
Orioles aren't going to be good.
For the Yanks. It's we'll see what happens.
I think the Yanks are fine. I think it's actually the season's so long. You're going to get Stanton before the All-Star break.
Well, yeah, and Garrett Cole gave up 4 home runs in his first start, which not the best.
First start in spring training?
Yes.
That's spring training.
Yeah, I know. So see. Aaron Judge has a broken rib. He's out for 2 weeks.
That's fine. He'll be
He
get
will.
him early.
He will. So we'll kind of, like you said, it's the injury bug, and the Yanks got hit hard with it last year, very hard.
Yeah, and didn't matter.
Yeah, Severino's getting Tommy John, and not that it's gonna matter a huge amount. However, I really would have liked having Garrett Cole as ace, Severino as our number 2, getting James Paxton in there, and then like Tanaka and J.A. Happ are 2 very good pitchers. And if you could have those as your 4 and 5.
Tanaka had a pretty good year last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a very good
Pretty
year.
decent year.
Yeah, so to have him as your 4 or 5, that's very good. And then, I mean, I hate saying this, Domingo Germain, who is known for beating women in
Oh yeah,
the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And he's out for the first half of the season. But I mean, the guy went 18-4 last year.
Yeah.
So
And your bullpen is already good.
yeah, the bullpen's fantastic. So if, like, not that it's gonna be bad now, but I mean, if you could go Cole and then Severino and then have Happ and Paxton and Jermaine and Tanaka, like that is a very like. And I've told you for years we've talked about Yanks. The Yanks always have offense, and the bullpen's been very good for the last, I don't know, 3-4 years. The bullpen's been fantastic. It's just our starting pitching is trash, and always has been trash. And we went out and signed Garrett Cole. Finally, thank God, we went and signed an ace pitcher. We did good, and I think our starting pitcher is going to be better, but losing Severino hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. My opinion, it definitely doesn't. It definitely hurts, but I don't think it hurts so much to the point that your season is it's not a wash. You guys are probably still going to win the East. You're still the favorites going in as the World Series champions, or at least the winners out of the American League.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I think we are the leaders. I think, like, if you look way ahead on the teams that we could face, a la the Dodgers, which I'm pretty sure, I think that's both of ours predictions. The way too early was Yanks Dodgers.
Yeah, that was the easy one, just because both of them have ridiculous power, have ridiculous offense, especially now pretty good pitching.
Yeah, especially the Dodgers added Mookie Betts.
Oh yeah, I forgot Ryu, who had a ridiculous year for Los Angeles last year, is in Toronto now.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's their ace in Toronto. So,
yeah. Dude, just look at the Dodgers.
Good.
The Dodgers outfield is Jock Peterson, Cody Bellinger, and Mookie Betts. That's their outfield.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. But yeah, so we got baseball spring training going on, which is it's fun. I mean, it is spring training. I mean, I'm paying attention, but I'm not.
It's spring training. Yeah, I don't like. I've been wanting to pay attention to singular players, but my CBS Sports app doesn't give me batting stats for individual players. It just says final scores and team stats.
Oh, yeah. But got to out of the National League, my squad, because of my boy, the Brew Crew.
Yeah.
Got to root for the Brew Crew. My boy Lorenzo Cain.
Oh yeah, he's still there.
Yep, he's still there. If you guys
still
don't know,
a very good outfielder.
For fact, if you guys don't know Lorenzo Cain, or follow him, very good outfielder, fantastic outfielder. He is married to a girl I know from high school, and like the families are family friends and everything. And I will say I've met Lorenzo Cain on multiple occasions, and he is probably the nicest dude on the face of the earth.
Yeah, I got to root for him.
Yeah, he literally he'll come to our tailgate with Jenny and the kids. And like he will literally like kind of put a hoodie on because he just like he's not one of those showboaters like here come look at me blah blah. Like he has a hoodie on, like he'd be 90 degrees. He's got a hoodie on, like dude, just want to be here with my kids and my wife. Like leave me alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I go talk, he's a super nice guy. I love him. So root for Lorenzo. He's a great guy.
I don't know anybody who actively hates the Brewers. Like they hated them. They hated the Brewers when. I want to say almost said Braun Strowman. Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun because of the steroids, but he's not there anymore.
No, yeah, he is.
I thought he was in San Francisco.
Nope.
Am I? Oh, you know what? I'm mixing him up with what's his face, the third baseman from Tampa Bay. No, he's in San Francisco. No, not Josh Donaldson. I can't think of his name now.
I don't know, but the way you just moaned makes it sound like you're taking a long piss.
I'm not.
Oh.
I relieved myself.
Oh, Evan Longoria.
Yes, Evan Longoria.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no.
He had speaking of Ryan Braun, he had a really good, because Kristen Yelich just extended in Milwaukee, so he's going to be in Milwaukee for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Unless he gets traded. But Ryan Braun made a really interesting statement on Kristen Yelich. He's like, I'm obviously not going to be in the Hall of Fame, but that kid is definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame, and he deserves every bit of money he got. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. But the thing that stood out to me about that statement was him saying, I'm obviously not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Who said that? Longoria?
Ryan Braun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the steroids.
Because of the steroids thing. And I just thought it was kind of an interesting take. It's real sort of self-aware and interesting.
Yeah, it's self-awareness. You fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. And he knows it. And he knows he's probably not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
No, probably not.
But he's okay with that, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. He was like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd like to be in the Hall of Fame too, but if you give me a choice of putting in the Hall of Fame, getting in the Hall of Fame or giving me, I don't know, $200 million, give me the goddamn $200 million and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll go build my own Hall of Fame for $200 million.
Yeah, I'm wondering with that happening if they can start. I wonder if it's in the bargaining agreement that you can't put a performance enhancing, like a PED violation, if that voids anything in contracts. You have to at this point.
Oh yeah, you have to,
especially in major leagues.
Oh yeah,
you know, because of what happened in the 90s.
Yeah, I think Sosa and McGuire, you dicks. So one last thing we have not talked a lot about. Actually, two last things. We're saying the one thing is broken up into two. First off, basketball.
Yeah.
We'll start with the not as fun, which is the NBA. In my mind, I don't think it's as fun.
Compared to the other one?
Yeah, compared to college.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no,
yeah. We'll start with NBA. Go right ahead.
Yeah, no, but I think the NBA right now, I'm super excited about the NBA. Like we're coming close.
It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun this year,
right?
Just because the Golden State Warriors are not going to be in the playoffs, and that's the first time they have been in the playoffs in like 5 years.
Right, and I mean, kind of,
or the finals. Like, there's no chance of the Golden State Warriors in the finals, and they've been in the finals the past 5 years.
Golden State has literally got the worst record in the NBA.
Literally.
They're
worse than the Pistons. The Pistons are bad. They're in the East.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that might be why they're better right now, because the West is so much better.
The best team in the NBA right now per record is the Milwaukee Bucks. Like what? Super fun.
It's all because the geek, or I say is Greek freak because I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. Giannis, I know that.
Antetokounmpo.
I need to learn how to pronounce that regularly.
Yeah, you need to, because he's going to be around for a long time.
Long time. Very good. Yeah, and the only reason the Milwaukee Bucks are that good is because Giannis Antetokounmpo is 7 foot tall and can dunk.
According to James Harden.
According to James Harden, that's it.
According to James Harden, that's all the guy could do, which is about the most asinine shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, what is going on with James Harden? I used to like him a lot. Now he just seems like a salty, whiny diva. What's going on?
Because he's a salty, whiny diva.
There it is.
I mean, that's about as simple as you can get.
And I know you love the dude because he was in Oklahoma City.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like the dude. I like his game. He does flop. I don't like his game. He does that, but to me,
the dude has been in the league for how long now? Coming up on 10 years.
10 years.
Coming up on 10 years, and he still can't defend.
No. Yeah, he can't play defense.
For me, there's no excuse to that. Like, you have to be a good defender, at least a little, but he hasn't gotten any better.
Right. No. Yeah. Well, and I think. Yeah, I don't. He has issues defending. But you would. Yeah, if you could be that good on offense and be bad on defense, then people.
Yeah.
But yeah. But just,
go, and that's like when it comes down to the NBA today. And I think it's something that needs to be happening moving forward is the ability to have a well-rounded game, because everybody in the game is so athletic. Like the idea of an unathletic NBA, I say star, but not necessarily a star, just somebody who's even a bench player. You need to have the ability to step up and be that next guy up. And James Harden, his ability to score, his ability to make opportunities to score, it's otherworldly. The dude, I'm not 100% certain, but I don't think he's won an MVP yet. He's definitely been a finalist, and that's for sure. And I honestly think if he just learned how to be, you know what? I'll say it like this. James Harden is Oklahoma football. Scoring is ridiculous. Like,
You're a dick.
James Harden is going to score. But if he just got a little bit better on defense, he's probably a perennial MVP candidate.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably true.
And it's not like you can't learn how to be a good defender. It just takes reps.
Defenses all want to. It's want to.
Yeah, I don't, and he doesn't want to. And in my opinion, that's a flaw. That's a problem.
Which I agree with that. But kind of. Sorry, why I pour beer. One of my things that I love about the NBA this year, and I called it at the beginning of the season, I knew it was going to happen. I'm super excited. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We have the Bucks and we have the Lakers at the top of the East and West, and even though the Lakers are at the top of the West right now, I'd almost say I got the Clippers ahead of them in the playoffs. In the 7-game series, I'd take the Clips.
Based on what? Because
that they,
I don't know.
Oh, so based on the fact that they've had some injuries, they've kind of
the Lakers.
No, the Clips.
Oh, okay.
So they've had some injuries. Their core of like when Patrick Beverly, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Zubac from the center, when they're all on the court, the Clippers do not lose. Period.
Right. Yeah.
But they've had injuries with Paul George. Leonard's been out. Like he takes time off. But when they're on the court together, they do not lose. Like it is like just they smash everybody.
Yeah. That's going to be an interesting.
The battle for LA is going to be very interesting. Like I mean, they played.
Now you got me excited for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers played the Clips. And the fun thing about the Lakers and Clips, there is no home team.
Yeah, they play in the same.
Yeah, they play in the same arena.
Yeah, they're in the same building. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is no home court advantage. It's.
That's so interesting.
It's gonna be so fun.
So they just swap. They just swap
jersey colors. That's it.
Jersey colors and locker rooms.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is so interesting. Dude.
Yeah.
I just got really excited. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
Please, Lakers. Please, Lord of NBA. Please let there be a Clippers-Lakers series in the NBA playoffs.
Right. I mean,
that'd be so good.
Not only that, but if you look at the NBA right now, if you go from 44 wins down to 39 wins, so a 5-game swing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you combine the East and the West, from 44 games to 39 wins, you've got 12 teams in a 5-game swing.
Yeah.
Like you got the Raptors, Celtics, Heat, Pacers, 76ers in the East. Mm-hmm. You got Clippers, Nuggets, Jazz, Thunder, Rockets, Mavs in the West.
Yeah.
Like there's such disparity this year, and it's so much fun.
And is New Orleans is kind of they're almost there. They're close.
They are surging.
Uh-huh.
Everybody kind of wants them to get to the 8 seed you could have, so you could have Zion, LeBron battle.
Lakers take that one easy.
Yeah, would.
That's an interesting one though because they traded all those guys from Los Angeles to New Orleans, so the storylines will be good. But it's the Lakers take.
So
that one.
the funniest thing about all that, on a complete side note, is that the Lakers played the Pelicans the other night.
Okay.
And the Lakers, like Jimmy said, they traded Brandon Ingram, the first pick, which is Zion, Ball, and like two other players.
Yeah.
Josh Hart.
It was dang near their entire starting lineup from last year.
For Anthony Davis. And then the Lakers play the Pelicans. Davis doesn't even play, and LeBron still beats him.
Yeah.
So he's like, I traded all these guys for him.
He
doesn't even play, and I still beat you regardless, which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, the Lakers are like, they're really good, and I was wrong about them. Like I thought they were gonna not be. I thought they were gonna be better. I didn't realize how much better.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're really good. I think that just looking at some of the matchups though in the playoffs that I'm super excited about. I mean, as of right now, you could have the Celtics 76ers, which is just a knockdown. They get fights when they play.
They get nasty. That's classic East Coast.
Yeah, like there's the possibility, which would be great, of the Thunder and Rockets playing in the first round, which, us trading Westbrook for Paul. That'd be a fun matchup to go in there. And then obviously, which would hopefully all culminate into the battle for LA for the privilege to play the Bucks.
Yeah,
and Giannis, the reigning MVP, like that right there, like it would be Toronto, Milwaukee in the East, the reigning champs versus the reigning MVP, and then the battle for LA in the West for the NBA title. Like that's so awesome. It's so much fun.
Can we take a second to just shout out Chris Paul?
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, he might be the most underrated leader of any basketball player right now. Because Oklahoma City had Russell Westbrook last year. Did they make the playoffs?
We did.
And you didn't get past the first round, right?
No,
but you were like an
8-7
seed?
Yeah, we haven't got past the regular season in a while.
And they're a 5 seed right now, right? You said?
Yeah, they are. Well, we had Paul George and Russell Westbrook last year.
Yeah, you don't have Russell Westbrook. You don't have Paul George. And your star player is Chris Paul, and they got him at a 5 seed in the West.
Yeah,
that's very impressive.
And I will I am one that when it happens, I will. Oh, and we beat the Celtics today, which is a very good team in Boston. But
yeah, that's a big one.
I will say, I will eat crow when needed to. And I will eat a lot of crow right now because I remember last year about the All-Star break. We had Paul George, we had Russell Westbrook, we had a bunch of very good players, and we just weren't playing well. And I was get Billy Donovan out. Like I was like, there's one issue, get Billy Donovan out, yada yada yada, and I was all about it. Thunder didn't do it. Kudos to them. Now we got, don't get me wrong, I still love Westbrook. I will always love Westbrook. I think that he should have a statue outside our arena at some point just for what he's done, not only for our franchise, but for my city. He did so much for us, and I'll always be grateful.
he's still got love for the city, too.
Oh, yeah, he still has some charity donation stuff at Oklahoma City and still does a lot for it. I mean,
yeah.
Not to get too off topic, but like what Russell Westbrook even said, he's like, he played here for 13 years. He's like, I was in Oklahoma City from 18 to 31. Like, me whole becoming a man.
Yeah,
was Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he's probably, some people consider, obviously, their home. Everybody considers their home unless they have, a terrible situation, like where they grew up as their home. But other people consider where they grew up as an adult to be like a second home, and I'm pretty sure he considers that to be a second home.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty much what he said. He was like, like the forming of me being a man from an 18-year-old, from a teenager to a 31-year-old man with a wife and 3 kids, was Oklahoma City. So yeah. I will always tell. However, he leaves, we get better. Yeah.
His style of play wasn't gelling with Billy Donovan's style of coaching.
It was not.
And that shows. And I remember when Billy Donovan was in Florida, they played full team basketball.
They did. And
there was no one star.
And they had a lot of good players there at Florida. And
a lot of good players, but not. Can you name a great player? I think their best player was Joakim Noah.
Al Horford.
Yeah. He's not a star. He's not Michael. He's not Westbrook.
I mean, he's not Westbrook, but I mean, he's an all-star.
Sure. So is Joakim Noah.
Right. So I mean, like, to be an
I'm
all-star,
saying
you
no.
have to be great
I'm
to be
saying
an all-star.
I'm saying he didn't have one absolute great
Okay, so
basketball
there's a
player
difference
at Florida.
between-
He had a lot of good basketball players.
There's a difference between a great player and a superstar.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'll say that. He had some great players.
He did not have
But
any
not a
superstars.
superstar.
Yeah, he did not have
Yeah.
any superstars. I will admit that. He did not have any superstars. He had some very great players with Joakim and Al Horford, but yeah, he did not have superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this NBA
Yeah,
comes.
it's going to be really good.
You had something that half the Splash Brother came back, and Steph.
Yeah, Steph Curry. Guys, Steph Curry's back. Golden State Warriors are going to be great again. That's what everything. ESPN was like, Steph Curry is back. He got 32 points in his game back. They lost, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, dude, they're in trouble. Like, Clay's still there. And Clay's, like, Steph Curry being back definitely helps. It for sure helps. Steph Curry is not going to make one team, like, by himself, he's not going to make a team great.
He's first off on the Golden State Warriors. I'm going to say, I told you so to any of them sons of bitches out there that thought that
You did
Draymond
say that.
Green was a superstar. He's not. He's a
No.
role player who fits well into a system. And
He's one of the best role players in the game,
he is
easily. But he's not going to be a guy who can. And he's a emotional leader for the team, but he's not a player, a leader on the court.
Like Steph Curry and Clay and KD were all gone, and it was his team, and the team is last place in the entire NBA.
Yep.
So, yeah, told you so. However, next year, the Golden State Warriors did a very good job. They dumped. I won't say dump, but they traded Russell to the Minnesota Timberwolves, which he was a very good player. But then they got Andrew Wiggins, who's a very good player. Not like an absolute crazy superstar, but I mean, averages 22 points a game. That's pretty freaking good. And his size is
He's going to be a very good. He's a forward, right?
Yeah, he's 6'7", 200 pounds. And so next year when Clay gets healthy, you're going to have Steph Curry at the 1, Klay Thompson at the 2, you're going to have Andrew Wiggins at the 3, and you're going to have Draymond Green at the 4.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
good lineup.
Very good starting lineup. Like, the Golden State Warriors will be right back into it.
By the way, can we say that Steve Kerr is probably not that good of a coach?
Yeah, no. He's a good coach, but he's not what everybody thought he was. I mean,
yeah, my thing is, it was. Do you remember? It was Luke Walton got a head coaching job in Los Angeles.
Yes,
because he was the bench coach for Golden State, and he went there and he was garbage. And then Steve Kerr was the head coach of Golden State this year without some of his star players, and they were garbage. They're garbage this year.
They were, and I think there's a lot of coaches out there that I think, in my mind, in the NBA, are a lot better than Steve Kerr.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Pop.
Pop, obviously. Who's the head coach for Toronto?
Hold on a second. I just dropped my phone.
Because whoever that is, he's got them playing really well after losing Kawhi.
Nick Nurse.
Yeah, it's still really good.
He's really good. Brad Stevens in Boston is incredibly good.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, like, I will say, I want to, because I'm a homer, give Billy Donovan Coach of the Year. Because what he did in Oklahoma City. However, Eric Spoelstra in Miami.
Yeah.
Miami was not expected to be much at all. And they're 42-23.
Yeah.
The 4 seed in the East.
Yeah.
And dangerous.
They do have Jimmy Butler.
They do have Jimmy Butler. I mean, but at the same time, Oklahoma City has Chris Paul, so it's kind of okay. And they have Hero.
Yeah.
We have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So I mean, there's a lot of trade off on what they have. But what he did in Miami, I think, is incredibly impressive. I was not like Miami. Even I remember
I would say I was more impressed with what he did last year because they made the playoffs last year, and it was Dwayne Wade's last year, and they played really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Eric Spoelstra is a very underrated coach. I remember when he first got to the Heat when they had LeBron, everybody just thought, like he was a puppet for LeBron, and maybe he was because LeBron is a player's coach. But ever since that big three of Miami had broken up, Miami's still been a pretty good team.
Yeah, they were middle of the road, either would make it or not. When they got it was kind of on the up and up when they got Wade back for his final year.
Yeah, so I'll give Spoelstra and Donovan one of those two for coach of the year. They've both done fantastic. But yeah,
I would say who's the head coach in Brooklyn because they're doing a pretty good job. They did a really good job last year.
Jimmy.
They made the playoffs last year.
Jimmy Stoppard.
Yeah, no, they made the playoffs last year, and all they had was D'Angelo Russell.
Right, they're gonna make the playoffs this year, and they're 5 games under 500 because they're in the East, so they're trash. That doesn't mean they're a good basketball team.
What did they finish with? I wonder what they finished with last year.
Last year, they finished 2 games above 500, 42-40.
So yeah, they were better last year than they are this year.
Yeah, I'm talking this year.
Yeah, because Kyrie can't lead a team.
That's true. So yeah, no, NBA's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I think the playoffs could be a lot of fun watching.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
And the battling and the jockeying for the playoff seeds. It's kind of the top 8 seeds are almost. I'm not gonna say they're set because there's like a 5-game difference and there's like 20 games to play, so anything can happen.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like we know who the 8 teams in the East and West are gonna be. It's just more a fact of where you're gonna finish up,
right?
And the matchups we're gonna have. But speaking of basketball and going on basketball.
Dude, we're about an hour and a half in.
I know,
and we could talk about.
I'm not going to go too long, but I will say.
Okay. We can get into it more when the teams are picked. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'll do a whole shebang when the teams are picked and matchups and fun matchups and all that fun stuff. But it is March Madness. This is the best thing in all of sports in my mind. I am a college
upon
football
us.
junkie.
It's coming. It is almost upon us.
Yeah, I am a college football junkie. I love college football. I can recite stats.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy's heard me say stats that.
This is a college football podcast primarily.
Yeah, and I will go nuts on college basketball when it comes to March Madness. It's so fun. The madness has already started. Utah State played San Diego State, who's number 7 in the country. Utah State hit a 3 as time expired to punch their ticket to the big dance. Like, the madness has started. It's so awesome. I'm super excited. We're going to get into it as the as March goes on. When we have selections Sunday, obviously I'll want to do, we'll do a podcast right after that talking about some of the fun matchups and some of the stuff going on. But y'all buckle your seatbelts because it's about to be a bumpy ride. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We have March Madness. I'm pumped.
This year is going to be so interesting because it's not as top heavy. Normally you got Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, and those are and Virginia. Those are your teams that you can basically go ahead and automatically check off at the beginning of the year that, these are going to be the favorites to win the national championship. But this year, you can't really say that. You don't know. Yeah,
I mean, the big, just kind of going quick, the Big 12 has the 2 big 1-2 punch with Baylor and Kansas. Those guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
But Gonzaga is great. Dayton is a team to be watching out as well, San Diego State. Duke is always a team that we watch with. I said it earlier. Michigan State is playing great basketball this last month.
They know how to play in the tournament.
Right. Yeah. They when you get Tom Izzo in March and they have a point guard like Cassius Winston, who is kind of like we talked about Chris Paul. He is one of the best floor generals I've seen in a long time. He's a fantastic guard, great with the ball, sees the floor well. You get a chance to watch Michigan State play. See Cassius Winston. He's so good.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, they played Ohio State today, and they beat Ohio State.
Yeah, like this is one of I'll say it's top heavy because there are some very good teams, but it's not like this. Like, for instance, like when Anthony Davis was at Kentucky,
Yeah.
everybody knew who was going to win the damn tournament.
Yes.
It's like Kentucky's going to win it. I know.
Didn't they have Karl Anthony Towns that year as well?
Yeah.
That roster was ridiculous.
Oh, it's stupid.
Ridiculous.
But I mean, Kansas is ranked getting the number 1 seed as of right now. And Kansas is probably the biggest letdown of all time. They always fuck up in the tournament. That's just what they do. It makes me so mad. So yeah, I'm super excited. We're going to talk about it. Like I said, going on Kansas.
Is it Selection Sunday next weekend?
Yes. So
because they got tournaments this week.
Yeah. So the small tournaments are starting to come to an end with the Mountain West and all that stuff. They're kind of coming to a close with the small teams punching their tickets, which is always fun watching them. Catching the last 5 minutes of the game, regardless of the score, and watching them storm the court, knowing that you're going to the dance.
Yeah.
It's super fun to watch. But
and we've said it. I'm not a basketball fan, but I love March Madness.
Oh, everybody loves March Madness.
March Madness is the best collegiate playoff system of anything.
I don't even think it's collegiate. I think it's the best playoff system of pro, college, or anything. I think it's like the upsets that have like day 1 and 2, the round of 64. Like. Mm-hmm. The upsets that happen.
Yeah, one game move on. It's you gotta get a Cinderella team who makes it.
There's always one. There's always one team you never thought you were gonna get there.
Yeah, I'm thinking Wichita State, Vanderbilt. Not Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Stephen F. Austin's made it a couple times. There's been some very good ones, and I think this year there's.
Last year it was UCF was the darling until they lost to Duke and almost beat Duke.
They did. They really did. With Taco.
That was a great game. That was Zion. That was almost Zion's last game.
Yeah.
That was a great one.
Yeah, man. So I'm super excited. But yeah, we got the Power 5 tournaments this week that will build into Selection Sunday on this upcoming week. Which, fun fact, this upcoming Sunday is my birthday.
Hey, caught up to me. Don't worry, I'll pull up. You didn't really catch up to me, but
you're old as
I'm gonna pull ahead of you on my birthday.
Yeah, you're old as fuck.
Yeah, I know. I hurt my neck sleeping.
That's true. At least you didn't blow out an ACL. Shout out Jason Denmark.
Coming at you.
But yeah, so we got a lot coming up in the next couple weeks. We got March is gonna be filled with a lot of college basketball talk.
March Madness rolls right into opening day. Spring football.
Well, first off, you got March Madness all March, and that's gonna lead right into opening day, and then you got the draft, and then you got NBA playoffs, and and then you got spring football and transfer portal.
If you're into it, playoff hockey.
I love playoff hockey. I love playoff. Dallas Stars. I'll watch Dallas Stars all day during the playoffs. They got a very good team this year. Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, fantastic players. Are going to take the Stars all the way. Also, if you're into it, WrestleMania is in a month.
Woo! Oh, dude.
We're not getting.
You didn't watch it. You didn't watch it.
We're not going to get into that. We're not going to
Elimination Chamber. I'll say that. That's it. Elimination Chamber.
Fair enough. Give me that. Yeah, guys. Well, we have a lot going on. We kind of went a little longer than usual just because Jimmy can't record for shit. If your microphone is off right now, Jimmy, I will come to California and scissor kick your soul.
Oh, dude, I can't believe it.
I'll be so mad at you.
I'm recording. Don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah. I don't want to get kicked in the nuts.
If you weren't, it would literally be the end of the Boom Buck podcast. I'm like, I quit. I'm done.
You liar.
I'm done.
This is too much fun.
I'm done. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about in the next couple weeks.
I think we're good here. We've gone along. We're about an hour and 40 minutes into it now.
Well,
so I think
the only
it's time
reason we're
to
an hour 40
sign
in is because
off.
we had to do 2 shows in one because you're a fuck.
You love me anyway.
That's true. All right, guys. Well, I'll
Anyway,
let Jimmy close us out. But yeah, thanks for listening. And Jim, all you.
Yeah. Hey, follow us on Twitter at Boom and Buck. We don't post much. We need to actually get better about posting stuff like that.
That's facts.
But whatever. Check us out on YouTube. Give us a subscribe. Post these podcasts up on there as well. Then once this post, which are on Stitcher, Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, go to our Anchor website, anchor.com/Boom and Buck Podcast. Would greatly appreciate it. Give us a follow. Keep on listening. We'll keep doing this.
Do it. All right. Well,
bye.
Later, dudes. Deuces.